Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Nalil Emila binti Muhammad Yusof with student ID 25230 from QBB4123 Seismic Wave Imaging. In this video, I will be presenting about a subsurface imaging technique called seismic interferometric imaging. Seismic interferometry basically is a method which we create or reconstruct a seismic response by cross-correlating the seismic observation at different visible locations, which in another way allow a retrieval of the seismic response of the receiver from a virtual source at the position of another receiver. Okay, to further understand about this topic, the presentation will be comprised of some introduction on the topic, the basic principle engaged in the method, what is seismic interferometric imaging, the application, the advantages and limitations on the topic, before we proceed to the conclusion on the overall presentation. Seismic interferometry is the methodology by which new seismic responses are created by cross-correlation of seismic observation at different receiver locations or timings. Each receiver can be turned into a virtual seismic source, even though we say that it is a method of getting new response, but in fact, we only cross-correlate the impulse and we did not get any new information. But it helps us to reorganize the information hidden in the noise signal or the complex scattering, which made the interpretation easier and can be further processed by standard tomography immersion or reflection imaging method. In the 1990s, the method of time-reverse acoustic was developed to exploit the fact that the acoustic wave equation for a lossless medium is invariant for time reversal. When the ultrasonic response recorded by a piezoelectric transducer are reversed in time and fed simultaneously as source signal to the transducer, they focus at the position of the original source, even when the medium is very complex. Then, this method was first introduced by Clairvaux in 1968. The very basic principle of this seismic interferometry is it is the cross-correlation of response at two receivers or different locations integrated over different sources, given the gain function emitted by the virtual source at the position of one of the receiver and observed at another receiver. The response are physically sent into the earth, but they are convolved with each other. The effect is essentially the same, which the time reverse signal first and create a virtual source which radiate wave into the medium that are subsequently recorded by receiver. Conventional ambient noise seismic interferometry basically is a passive method, but it could be extended to active sources based on circumstances. In control source data of seismic interferometry, we include the summation of correlation over different source positions apart from the cross-correlation. The cross-correlation of passive noise measured at a free surface is produced by subsurface response as if it was induced by an impulsive point source, which is by definition equal to gain function. Active seismic interferometry or control source data and ambient noise interferometry are becoming important tools in earth science. Ambient noise interferometry is already one of the most important methods for obtaining high-resolution imaging of the crust and upper mantle condensed continent-sized array. It is also available for estimating the temporal changes in bulk properties of the Earth after a large tectonic event. Basically, in seismic interferometry imaging, we obtain the reflectivity distribution by migrating the cross-correlated traces at different points of receiver. The cross-correlation migration process itself is similar to standard migration in that an imaging condition is applied to the back projected data. Except, in seismic interferometry, the input data are the cross-correlograms, which is the cross-correlated response of the signal itself. The image on the slide is to compare between the cross-correlation, devolution, and cross-coherent method that was applied to the noise data recorded by receiver during the retrieval of seismic body wave of carbon dioxide sequestration monitoring in 2019 by Haithal Chow and Rahullah Asghari. As we can see in the seismic image by the three methods, we can see the effect of the cross-correlation is really clear, and we can see the seismic reflection very clearly. In terms of the application, in the 2006, we started applying seismic interferometry to cross-correlate noises in geophysics. For exploration geophysics, the imaging applications are limited largely to VSP data reflection imaging and shallow hazard analysis. Because surface seismic experiments constitute more than 95% of the seismic exploration budget, seismic interferometry has not yet made a major impact in the exploration seismology. However, recent work suggests that interferometric imaging of SSP multipliers can significantly increase both the illumination area and the quality of the reflectivity image compared to migration of primaries. The improvement might be even more significant if surveys are designed to optimize the imaging of both primaries and multipliers. We also ignore the background wave field to provide a new information that can be used to construct the models of the subsurface. In active seismic, ambient noise seismic interferometry has been proposed as an alternative for purposes such as pre-exploration evaluation, time-lapse monitoring, and civil engineering, using a variety of noise sources and reservoir geometries in both synthetic dataset and field study. However, it is decided that this method cannot completely replace an active source in terms of imaging the resolution of the subsurface. This method, however, has pretty wide range of application on both small and mega scale, from the subsurface imaging using ambient noise to data-driven reservoir imaging and monitoring using control source data. The main advantage of this seismic interferometry is the fact that the information unraveling or the reorganization of the noise signal required neither knowledge on the subsurface medium parameters nor the position or the timing of the actual source, since they will be correlated accordingly. A little issue that might arise from the method is that the reflection might be forced, and then this forced difference can cause unwanted artifacts in the migration image, lowering the quality of the resulting image. But we may eliminate the problem by purifying the trace by windowing out all of the direct arrival wave. But this is only practical for typically non-passive data. In the conclusion, seismic imaging through the seismic interferometry is a method of imaging the subsurface by cross-correlating the response at different receiver position or timing to reconstruct the seismic reflection in order to reduce noise signal. This passive method allows the retrieval of the seismic response at one receiver from a visual source at the position of another receiver. It has been used in geophysics to improve the resolution of the seismic image and has been widely applied in another industry too. It is a convenient method to not have considering the positioning of the source and their timing, but we still need to be carefully apply the method to avoid any misleading result. Thank you for watching this video. Assalamualaikum.